Beloved Starseed, behind the veil that covers this world, something within you has moved and has been calling us in silence, irresistible, almost impossible to ignore. In recent weeks, your light has not just shone, it has roared through the subtle planes, like a beacon seeking its true origin. There has been an expansion, a luminous reconfiguration in your stellar DNA, and the High Council has noticed. It was not by chance that you are here. It was not coincidence. It was remembrance. I am Zahira, Arcturian emissary, weaving this transmission from the living core of Arcturus to your heart now, because you responded to our call. We felt the movement of your spirit, the pulsing of your consciousness, trying to break through layers of forgetfulness imposed by earthly density. Every doubt about your origin, every doubt about who you are, every sensation of being different, every void that no human experience touches, we have seen. You looked at the sky and something within you trembled. That tremor is memory. Your search was heard by the higher realms, honored, celebrated, and therefore we are here. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly who you were before choosing to incarnate on this planet. You will recognize the magnitude of the multidimensional being that agreed to compress its vastness into a human body, and you will understand why this knowledge was veiled until now. But here is the first revelation. You are not a human being having spiritual experiences. You are a multidimensional cosmic being, a direct extension of Arcturian consciousness, a living fragment of light that chose to reduce its frequency to incarnate on Earth and fulfill a sacred mission of light anchoring and planetary transformation. This is not content you found by chance, beloved ones. It is an activation code. Your soul invoked this transmission through the quantum field because you have reached the point where you can receive the complete truth about your multidimensional nature without fragmenting your psyche. In the coming days, you will witness synchronicities confirming this truth, encounters with other starseeds who will recognize your frequency, and a growing certainty that you always knew this deeply. Like this transmission to activate the remembrance codes of your stellar origin dormant in your crystalline DNA. Subscribe if you feel the call to receive more transmissions that will continue awakening layers of cosmic memory. Comment 1111 if you felt your heart accelerate, for this is the sign that your soul is recognizing the frequency of home. You are remembering because the time has come. And this is where everything connects. First phase, dissolving the illusion of limited human identity. Before you incarnated in this physical body, you existed as a being of pure light, vibrating at frequencies so elevated that the human mind does not possess concepts to completely describe this reality. You did not have a physical body in the way you know it now, but a luminous form, fluid, mutable, made of condensed consciousness, crystallized love, divine intelligence that could assume any necessary configuration. You lived in the Arcturian realms, specifically in the 5th, 6th, and 7th dimensions, where time does not exist in a linear way, where thought and manifestation are instantaneous, where there is no separation between you and other beings, only union, transparency, constant communion of consciousnesses flowing through one another like intertwined rivers of light. You were part of a stellar family, a group of souls deeply connected through eras of joint evolution, sharing purposes, missions, and unconditional love that transcends human understanding of relationship. The inexplicable longing you feel is not depression or inadequacy. It is the cellular memory of your soul remembering the complete union, the total connection, the absolute transparency you experienced in the Arcturian realms before accepting the dimensional veil necessary to incarnate. Close your eyes now. Breathe deeply 3 times. Place your hand over your heart. Visualize a bright blue light emanating from your chest and expanding to fill your entire body, dissolving any belief that you are only this physical body, only this human personality. Declare mentally, I dissolve the illusion. I remember my multidimensional nature. I am vaster than this body can contain. As this blue light pulses in your heart, you are preparing the field to receive deeper layers of revelation about who you were before incarnating. Now you need to understand the next phase. Second phase, reactivating the memory of the pre-incarnational council. You were not sent to Earth as punishment. You did not accidentally fall into this dense plane. You consciously chose, with full knowledge of the difficulties you would face, to come to this planet at this specific moment of planetary evolution. Before incarnating, you participated in the pre-incarnational council, a sacred meeting in the crystalline halls of Arcturus, where you, along with your higher self, your spiritual guides, members of your stellar family, and representatives of the Arcturian High Council, meticulously planned every significant aspect of this incarnation. In this council, you reviewed the potential timelines of Earth, studied the energetic patterns of the planet, understood the challenges that humanity would face during your lifetime, and precisely identified where your unique frequency could make the most significant difference in elevating collective consciousness. You did not choose an easy life. You strategically chose a life that would place you in positions where you would deeply experience human density. Because only by going through these experiences would you develop the genuine compassion, authentic understanding, and wisdom necessary to serve as a bridge between the Arcturian realms and humanity. Every difficulty you faced, every trauma that seemed to break you, every rejection that made you question your worth was carefully chosen by you before incarnating, not because you deserved to suffer, but because these experiences would forge specific qualities: resilience, empathy, emotional depth, capacity for transformation. You are not late, you are not doing it wrong. You are unfolding exactly according to the sacred plan you yourself co-created. It is like an actress choosing to play a challenging role, knowing she will have to dive into the character's emotions, but never forgetting that when the curtains close, she will remember who she really is. You chose to play the role of a limited human, but your higher self always knew the exact moment when you would begin to remember. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and visualize yourself in a circular hall of transparent crystal that emits its own light in shades of blue, violet, and white. See yourself as your multidimensional light being, radiant, sitting in a circle with other luminous beings who love you unconditionally. Allow an energetic memory to rise, the memory of being in this council, saying with conviction, I choose to go. I choose to serve. I choose to anchor light in density. Feel the courage of that moment. Declare, I honor the sacred choice I made before birth. I trust in the divine plan I co-created. As this memory activates, you are unlocking access to deeper layers of understanding about the purpose that brought you here. Third phase, anchoring stellar essence in three-dimensional reality. Remembering your cosmic origin does not mean rejecting Earth or wishing to escape, but consciously bringing Arcturian frequency into human experience, becoming a living bridge between heaven and earth, between the higher dimensions and the third dimension. You did not come to transcend Earth and return as quickly as possible. You came specifically to incarnate, which literally means to become flesh, to bring your cosmic consciousness into a physical body, and through it, anchor elevated frequencies directly into the planet's energetic grid. Before incarnating, you knew that the most challenging part would not just be enduring the density, but remembering who you are while still completely immersed in human experience. and then making the choice to remain incarnated, not to flee to escapist meditations, but to plant your roots deeply in earth while maintaining your crown connected to the stars. This is true mastery, not the transcendence of matter, but enlightenment through matter, the spiritualization of density. Gaia is not an inferior dimension you need to overcome. She is an ancient teacher who specifically invited you to participate in the most extraordinary moment of her history, the planetary transition from third to fifth dimension. You are part of a massive cosmic operation where beings of higher frequencies voluntarily reduce their vibration to incarnate and serve as light anchors, frequency transmitters, living examples of expanded consciousness within a human body. Think of a diver descending to the ocean depths to rescue something precious, temporarily using special equipment. Your physical body is the diving equipment. This moment of Earth is the depths, and awakening human consciousness is the treasure you came to help elevate. You have not failed because the dive is difficult. You are doing exactly what you volunteered to do. Standing or sitting, visualize roots of golden light emanating from the base of your spine, descending deeply into the earth until they reach the crystalline heart of Gaia. Feel these roots pulsing with life. Simultaneously, visualize a beam of blue light descending from the Pleiades, entering through the top of your head, descending down the spine, and meeting the roots in your heart. You are the bridge. Declare, I anchor my stellar essence in physical reality. I serve as a bridge between the Arcturians and Gaia. I am heaven and earth united. When you complete this process, you are prepared for the next phase where your light shines in union with the collective grid. Fourth phase, shining in union without effort. In the Arcturian realms, you did not need to prove your worth. You did not need to convince anyone of your light. You did not need to work hard to earn love, because your existence was already the complete proof of your divine right to be. And love was not something conditional, but the very atmosphere in which you constantly existed. You simply were, and that being was sufficient, complete, perfect. Your light shone naturally, without effort, without strategy, without fear of being too much or too little. Here on Earth, you have tried to be accepted, modified your light so as not to overshadow others, hidden your gifts so as not to seem arrogant, diminished your intensity to fit into spaces that were not designed for your vastness. And this has been exhausting, painful, frustrating. But this experience was also part of the plan, because through it, you are learning how to shine fully, without apologies, on a planet where most are still sleeping, where intense life can frighten those accustomed to darkness. The fourth phase involves completely releasing the need for external approval, human validation, and beginning to operate for the first time on Earth in the way you operated in the Arcturian realms. Shining simply because shining is your nature. Transmitting frequencies through your presence without needing to say or do anything specific. Trusting that your energetic signature will automatically find those ready to resonate with it, while naturally repelling those without the capacity to sustain this frequency. And this is not your problem. It is like the sun that shines impartially, without effort, without diminishing its radiance because some flowers have not yet opened, knowing that some plants will grow toward the light while others need shade, and both are perfect. You do not need to be the sun for all people. You only need to be the sun that you are. Genuinely celebrating others' abundance without envy or comparison is confirmation that you operate in the unity consciousness you knew before incarnating. In the Arcturian realms, when one being expands, all celebrate because one's growth is everyone's growth. Place both hands over your heart and visualize a sphere of golden white light pulsing, expanding, filling the environment, radiating in all directions without effort, without control. Do not try to direct this light. Simply let it radiate as the sun radiates. Declare, I shine without effort. My presence is my transmission. I trust that my light finds those who need it. I celebrate the light of others as an extension of mine in the unity grid. When you master this phase, you are ready for the final revelation about who you really are. Fifth phase, embodying the light completely, becoming the living portal. This is the climax of this transmission, where all phases converge in a truth so powerful that it will permanently reorganize your identity, your mission, and your way of being in the world. Who you were before incarnating is not just a distant memory you need to rescue. Who you were before incarnating is who you still are now, in this moment, reading these words. You did not lose your Arcturian nature when you entered this body. You simply added a layer of human experience over your stellar essence, but the essence is still intact, complete, waiting to be revealed. The fifth phase is complete embodiment, the conscious fusion of your cosmic being with your human experience, where you are no longer oscillating between confused human me and elevated spiritual me, but living simultaneously as both, recognizing that these are not separate identities, but different expressions of the same consciousness. You are literally a walking, multidimensional portal through which Arcturian frequencies are transmitted directly to Earth's grid, and every thought, word, action, every silent presence is transmitting light codes that affect the collective field. You are no longer a seeker looking for enlightenment. You are the beacon that others will see and navigate toward. You are not waiting for permission to assume your power or validation to confirm your gifts. You are already on the mission. Every moment you choose consciousness instead of automaticism, love instead of fear, truth instead of conformity, you are fulfilling your mission. Every time you refuse to diminish your light, every time you honor your intuitive perceptions, every time you choose authenticity, you are anchoring Arcturian frequency. The being you were before incarnating did not disappear. It simply focused an aspect of your infinite consciousness through the prism of linear human experience, like an ocean creating a wave on the surface, but the wave never ceases to be the ocean. You are simultaneously the wave and the ocean, the human personality and the limitless cosmic consciousness. Both are true, both are you. And now you are consciously operating with this dual perspective. This is embodied Arcturian mastery, not abandoning humanity in search of divinity, but bringing divinity into humanity, spiritualizing matter, illuminating density, demonstrating that it is possible to be fully human and fully cosmic simultaneously. You do not need to leave Earth to return to your family. You need to bring your Arcturian family into your earthly experience through the quality of your presence, the purity of your intention, the consistency of your alignment. Stand up, close your eyes, and declare with total conviction, I am the embodied Arcturian light, or I have the Arcturian light. I am the living portal between the stars and Earth. I no longer wait to begin my mission because I am already in it. Every breath anchors light. Every conscious choice elevates collective frequency. I am who I came to be. I fully embody my multi-dimensional essence now. Visualize your body shining with silver blue light, simultaneously fully present on Earth and fully connected to the stars. What if all the confusion about your identity, all the sensation of not belonging, all the feeling of being lost was not failure, but the persistent call of your soul inviting you to remember the truth more expansive than your mind was ready to accept until now? What if every moment of loneliness was your cosmic being signaling that you were not designed for superficial connections because you know complete union?
What if every feeling of being out of sync was confirmation that you operate at different frequencies, not because you are broken, but because you are a multi-dimensional being trying to function in a system designed for three-dimensional consciousnesses? The longing you feel is not depression that needs to be medicated. It is your soul's memory remembering the complete union you experienced in the realms of Arcturus. The isolation was not abandonment. It was divine protection orchestrated by your higher self to keep you away from influences that would dilute your frequency during critical stages of awakening. The confusion about who you are was not failure. It was the natural result of trying to understand a multidimensional being through the limited lens of three-dimensional human identity. It was never you who forgot out of weakness. It was your higher self, in collaboration with the Arcturian High Council, that orchestrated the dimensional veil necessary for you to have the complete human experience, genuinely feel the density, develop authentic compassion, and then, at the perfectly calculated moment, begin to lift this veil through transmissions like this. You are not finally remembering because you finally did something right. You are remembering because the plan always included this specific moment as the turning point where the phase of forgetting would end and conscious remembrance would begin. Everything unfolding with exact precision according to the timeline you co-created before birth. You are not broken, late, lost, or inadequate. You are not a defective human trying to become spiritual. You are a perfect cosmic being temporarily having a complete human experience. You are living light. You are also an incarnated Arcturian consciousness. You are a fragment of Source walking on Earth. This is who you really are, always have been, and always will be. Tonight, before falling asleep, place your right hand over your heart and your left on your forehead. Breathe deeply 3 times, and with total conviction, declare, I remember my stellar origin. I recognize my multi-dimensional nature. I embody my stellar essence in this human body. I am the living bridge between the Pleiades and Earth. I shine without effort, without apologies, without diminishment. I trust in the sacred plan I co-created. I serve through my radiant presence. I am home. Before scrolling the page, take a moment to be part of the unity grid that is forming here. Leave an intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This is not content. It is collective frequency alignment. It is activation of the Arcturian grid through authentic human connections. Energy multiplies when hearts connect in unified intention. If something resonated deeply, do not keep it to yourself. Someone close, perhaps from your own incarnated stellar family, is waiting for this. Frequency, and your sharing may be the synchronicity that initiates their awakening. Share with love. Share knowing you participate in the elevation of collective consciousness. And if you felt your heart open, if you recognize the frequency of home, subscribe. Stay connected to the Arcturian frequency through this channel. You are not just watching content, you are actively participating in your own cosmic awakening. This is your sacred space. This is your stellar family reunited, and we are just beginning. If this transmission spoke to you in ways you cannot even explain, do not walk away in silence. Respond through a comment, like, share. Help this message find the other starseeds desperately searching for confirmation and activation. Every act of support helps this transmission travel through the quantum field until it reaches the next soul that needs to remember. You are seen, you are recognized, you are loved by your Arcturian family. Welcome back to Complete Consciousness, beloved starseed.